Welcome to Tiny Composition, where I talk about various ways of creating music or continuing a composition or starting a composition. Small ideas to get you started. My name is Stefan, and today we will talk about form and structure in music, which is kind of important as it builds upon relationships over time and is the key to make a piece connect from the start to the end, perhaps. When talking about form and structure, we tend to use different words in different genres. So in pop and rock and so on, we talk about maybe verse and refrain and such things. And in classical music, if we talk about older forms, such as like Beethoven or things like that, we talk about words like sonata or rondo or something. But everything boils down to the same building blocks, if you will. A certain amount of time that is that can be repeated later on in a certain composition, like a melody or it can be many different things. One impression is that, or as I remember from being young and playing in a band, is that you tend to think about form as the built up from melodies and chords, but that is not necessarily the whole truth. Of course it can be, but it can also be many other things in music, like instrumentation, or it can be the production in pop music. Many popular tunes these days are not so very varied in when it comes to chords, but very varied when it comes to the production, and that is what makes up the form. When speaking about form, it's you can do that theoretically in many ways. The most common way maybe is to give each form part a letter to identify it. So the verse, for example, can be called A, and the refrain is maybe B. So then you will have a form structure like A, B, and yeah, maybe you have lots of refrains at the end, so you have lots of B's. Personally, I've always felt that this is, although it's a very practical way, you get the form structure in a very short, tiny, space, but it doesn't really speak to me about what's happening in a piece. So I learned a long time ago to create like a graph of the form. So I draw on a paper the form. Yeah. So this would be like intensity maybe, or tune pitch, or something else that you feel important. And this line here is the time. To give you an idea, I will show you an example of a jingle that I wrote to a radio show here in Sweden. We will hear it, and you will see the structure here. La 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 la. so far we've only analyzed already made pieces, the jingle, but I've also used this technique backwards, so that I frequently start a composition by drawing a structure on a graph or something similar, and then I get ideas to how to proceed with the composition. So that is actually the key of my way of thinking around a composition. To give you an example of this, a few years ago I was commissioned to write something to the city of Ängelholm, and it was supposed to be something that everybody could play or do something with. So I decided to in Ängelholm there's a small water running through, and it goes in the landscape like this. So I took a map and I draw note lines on the map, and then I just put in notes where the water was, and I got a melody, and that melody was later on played by various ensembles and so on. Yeah, let's hear it. I will add a link in the description to this project if you're interested in playing the melody or knowing a bit more about it. Thank you for watching Tiny Composition. If you like this, please don't forget to subscribe and press likes and so on, and share the video. And soon there will be more. See you then. Bye bye.